Good morning everyone. Welcome to our e-learning classes, and today we will continue the rest of the part of class 8 chapter 2 history, and today's topic is the claim to paramountcy. So in previous class you have already know how British East India Company using their Doctrine of Lapse, using their subsidiary alliance policy to annexing the Indian states one by one. Now today we discuss the rest of the two policies which was used by the British authority to annexing Indian kingdoms, and the first one is the claim to paramountcy. So in 19th century, East Indian Company introduced an aggressive policy, and it was named the Policy of Paramountcy. So the Governor General at that time, the Governor General of India, Lord Hastings, it is not Warren Hastings, okay, don't mix up with these two, they are different persons. Lord Hastings and Warren Hastings are different persons. So Lord Hastings, he was in India from 1813 to 1823, introduced this policy, and the meaning of paramountcy was their authority was supreme. So any authority was supreme, that is called the paramountcy. So as per this policy, British East India Company, now they announced that to protect their interest, it was justified to annexing any Indian kingdom. Now they can annex any Indian kingdom if they thought this kingdom is against their business and political interests. Now we'll see one by one how did they annexing the Indian kingdoms using this policy. Now what happened next? That the first state they wanted to annex, it is the state of Kittur. That Kittur is a state, it is a small state in Karnataka. So the policy was challenged first when they tried to annex the Kittur. The Queen of Kittur, Rani Channamma, fought against the British Company but arrested and died in 1829. The ruler of Kittur, in the absence of the King of Kittur, Rani Channamma, the Queen of Kittur, he fought bravely and he led her army bravely, and finally he lost the battle and he was caught and died 1829 in British jail. So first time the policy was challenged, but unfortunately the Rani Channamma lose the battle. What happened next? Rayana, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli district, with the support of the locals, he now led the movement, they led the battle against the British. He just took some local people and destroyed many British camp and records. So they together destroyed many British camp and records, and finally he was caught and hanged by the British in 1830. So in this way, and finally the Kittur was annexed by the British East India Company in 1830. So in this way they annexed the Kittur with the help of the paramountcy. Okay, now they were looking forward towards the northwestern side of India or Indian subcontinent. Why? Because in 1830s, East India Company became worried about the expansion of Russia through the northwest of India. They became very much afraid that Russia at that time expand their territories. So they are very much afraid that Russia maybe attacked India throughout Afghanistan, because it is just beside. Russia will expand their territory up to Afghanistan, and if they cross Afghanistan, they can easily reach the Indian subcontinent. It is the today's borderline from India and Pakistan at that time. So no division was there, no borderline was there. So this Pakistan, today is known as Pakistan, it was also included in the part of Indian subcontinent, and also British East Indian Empire. So to stop the Russia, they need to control the area in the northwest of India, that is Afghanistan. So they wanted to secure that part, so they led their army against the Afghans and they fought two Anglo-Afghan wars. It is very difficult to fight in the Afghanistan. The terrains are very dangerous, and it is a barren land, and nobody can survive this place without the water and food. So this is a very tough area to fight, but somehow they managed to place their chosen ruler. They fought the two Anglo-Afghan wars between 1838 to 42, and finally they had managed to to place a ruler that is friendly towards the British. So in this way they secured or annexed the Afghanistan with the claim of paramountcy. Next we'll see the state of Punjab and Sindh. Okay, next the East India Company looked forward to the Sindh, and Sindh was taken over in 1843. Next state that was not annexed in the northwestern side, that is the biggest area of that region, that is, and most fertile region, that is Punjab, in the bank of river Sindhu and its tributaries. That Maharaja Ranjit Singh defended the Punjab till death. He somehow managed the British East India Company. He made some treaties and hold them back. But after the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, British fought two prolonged battles against the Sikh kingdom. But after the death, nobody was there to negotiate with the British. Then they will fight a prolonged battle, and finally in 1849 Punjab was annexed by the British East India Company. In this way they annexed the entire northwestern side of the Indian subcontinent. One by one they had annexed the Afghanistan, Sindh and Punjab, and also they used their policy of paramountcy in the South India to annex the state of Kittur. Okay, so that's all from this sub-unit. Now we will discuss the next policy introduced by the British East India Company to annex the Indian states, and the name of the policy is Doctrine of Lapse. So it is the third policy introduced by the British. So let's see what happened next. That the Governor General Lord Dalhousie, the next Governor General, he was in charge between 1840 to 1856 in India as a Governor General. So he introduced this policy, and according to the doctrine means a theory or policy. So according to the doctrine, if any Indian ruler died without any male heir, his kingdom would lapse. Male heir means if the Indian ruler died without any son, it is so the kingdom would lapse, means the kingdom became the part of company's territory. And male heir means only the son, not the nephew or any other relative's son or adopted sons. Adopted sons, nephews are not allowed to sit on the throne after the death of any king. So this is the main objective of the doctrine. So now what happened? The states annexed by the British East India Company through this doctrine is number one, the Satara. Satara was a state that was situated at the time. It is in the Maharashtra, central Maharashtra. Next, in 1846, the British East India Company annexed the state. Number two, the Nagpur. Nagpur was annexed in 1853. Next one, Sambalpur. Sambalpur is situated in the Odisha. This state was annexed in 1850. Next, Udaipur. It is also situated in Rajasthan. This state also annexed by the East India Company through Doctrine of Blacks from in 1852. The next state, that is Jhansi. You know that the famous the Rani Lakshmibai, the Queen of Jhansi. He also protests against the British because of this policy, and Jhansi was annexed in 1854. And the last one, the Awadh. Awadh is situated in the, Jhansi was situated in the central India, and Awadh, it is in North India. In 1856, it is today's in UP. So all these 6 states annexed by the British East India Company through Doctrine of Lapse. But in case of Awadh, they give an excuse that in Awadh there was a complete misgovernment because, and the people suffered there. A complete misgovernance was there, and for the welfare of the people, to save the people from a evil rule of the Nawab of Awadh, it is their pious duty to free the people from the rule of the Nawab. So in this way, they accuse the Nawab of Awadh and use this policy and annex the state of Awadh. But the people of Awadh, they became very angry, and they were not accepted this annexation, and finally they joined the Great Revolt or the Great Sepoy Mutiny to take a revenge from the British East India Company. That's all from this subunit, Doctrine of Blacks. Hope you have understood the 3 policies by which British East India Company annexed the Indian states one by one just after the Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. Okay, see you in the next class. Till then, watch this video again and again, and hope you have understood. So in this way, the British East India Company, they were using the 3 policies. First one, the very famous, the subsidiary alliance. Number 2, the direct annexation policy, the policy of paramountcy, and the number 3, doctrine of lapse. So in these 3 policies, using these 3 policies, they annexed a lot of Indian kingdoms one by one and spread their empire, actually the British Empire, all over the Indian subcontinent. And that's all from today's class. Hope you have understood. Next class we'll discuss another topic. So don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. See you in the next class. Thank you.